real quick, back to the 888 real quick.
Nobody cares anymore.
No, I want to say something. I want to say something because they were back to back. So that review was back to back with the SVS.
Oh yeah.
And like, you're very tactful, I would say. You're, we like, the problem is I like these guys at SVS,
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at the data. Mm-hmm. And when I look at the two back to back, I'm like, ooh, it's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Because price wise, what's the price comparison between them?
Same exact price.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Just saying. Not just looking at the data.
I think the funniest
that's what I love about it.
Expona, we were at Expona and Nick was like, "Hey, Aaron, everybody wants measurements of these things, so we're gonna send you some." like okay. Aaron's like, "All right."
I don't know why companies don't send out like stuff before it's released. Like I think that would be a really good idea. Like like before it's so they can make some changes. Like that would be super smart to like send it out a little early, get some feedback, and I'm happy to give feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like better products to come out, right?
Dude, that's what we did with the spatial. Hey, where's the shilling thing? That's what we did with the spatial audio caliber toolkit. We did the pre-order, and all of you guys and Reverend Slim, especially, said, "Hey, we could do this part. This would be better." Yada yada, and then the disc. Most of you may or may not know is actually version 3. That's actually 3.0. What's on the disc?
Mm-hmm.
So Anyway, that would be a good idea. They could get feedback from the people that have a direct connection to the viewer. You should have seen Aaron all up in Expona. This guy was like a superstar, man. He was just like, everywhere we go, they're like, "Hey, you're Aaron."
They were.
Like,
They were just excited to talk to the guy who made a video talking trash about old Tecton, or not
another
talking
guy,
trash, but just not taking crap from
not taking it.
It was the latest audio beef. We only get one of those like a couple times a year,
so I'm trying to audio beef, right? Like going back to back with those two. Wasn't that? What do you think about that?
I mean, the MoFi sounds much better for sure.
That's tough though, right?
Because it kind of sucks. Yeah, I think like where the SVS shines is the output capability is really high, right? With all those 8-inch drivers, and get dumb loud. You can take EQ, bring down that bass bump. You can EQ out some of that 4K and make it a more linear speaker, which a lot of people are going to be using EQ for those, right? And then it just looks really cool. But that's, to me, that's it for the pros compared to something like the MoFi, where the MoFi just sounds better. How
about this? 888 versus KEF LS60.
888. I choose the 888 because the LS60 is somewhat limited on output. That was the only real complaint I had about the LS60, was that at my listening distance, I wanted more volume out of it. Like it was adequate, but I wanted to be able to drive it louder, but the protection circuits on it kept it limited. Of course, it's using like what, 5-inch mid-bass drivers or 6-inch mid-bass drivers and a 4-inch coincident. So it's not really surprising that it's not going to get as loud as other speakers. But the MoFi is a lot louder.
I think this is a good comparison right here. Arendelle, you seem to like when you had them in. Yeah. They also had, I mean, I have them. They do have limited bass output.
Yeah,
I think on purpose.
But what do you call it?
Because Derek, it's PHX design.
The middle of the road SVS is the same price, $4,000 a pair for the quadruple sixes or 6.5s.
I'd be curious to know what those sound like too. I've had other people ask me to review those, but I don't know, man. I mean, I did send them an email, SVS an email saying, "All right, I'm done with these speakers. I'm ready to ship them back." They've already gone back. And I said, if you're interested, I'd like to test out your new bookshelf, the 6.5-inch one, and then the Nano. But I haven't heard back, and I'm kind of like, am I not going to hear back because I didn't give it a glowing review? Like, They've never been that way.
Nah,
So I wouldn't think so. You know,
No
I'm just
way.
thinking maybe they're overwhelmed with everything
No
else.
way.
They probably have a
SBS.
lot of orders. I asked Nick to send me a pair of white of the 6.5-inch ones, towers.
Okay.
And it took a while, but right before I was about to leave on my trip, he's like, hey, I got a pair. We're not selling. Let me send them to you. I'm like, let's wait till mid-July. And then,
I mean, it's possible that the other ones they could have a gem in some of the other lines, right?
Well, I'm thinking it's right because that one is, you always make compromises the larger you get, right? The more drivers you add, the more compromises you have to make. And when they're trying to hit a price of what they're trying to hit with that many drivers and then a gloss finish and that kind of an odd shape, if you will, like I kind of do wonder if one of their other ones is really the sweet spot as far as overall performance.
And then you got people like Paul here that's just like, all they did was bend the speaker. That's it. That's it. That's all they did. Nothing special. Nothing to see here.
Mm-hmm. But maybe some of the smaller ones actually measure better. Maybe the bookshelf ones are like the gem. But I think this is really a good comparison. The Arendals versus the SVS, that's going to be, I feel like fit and finish, they're neck and neck, right?
Yeah.
Arendal has very nice finish. You know, I think their drivers are really nice. When you see how the tweeter's made, there's like wood behind there, all crazy. Like what? So yeah, and they're both direct, you know, so they can offer a lot of value for their price point. He says, Kev, R7 Meta are a good comparison too.
Are we talking about to the 888s?
I think so.
Probably not.
No, okay.
Probably
Hold on.
not.
So you didn't really answer. 888 versus, let's say, a similarly priced Arendal, which would probably be the 1723 Towers, THX Towers.
I don't have any experience.
You didn't review those?
Dude, 888, dude, I know that. 888's all the way. I've heard both of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I'd go the 888s because the Arendals typically are more narrow than I prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Do they even go all the way, or are they cut off because they're?
He doesn't like them skinny. He likes them fat.
Yeah, no,
dude,
well, they don't.
I like a wide radiation pattern.
My complaint was not enough bass, man. Remember, that was our main thing, right, Shauna?
Yeah.
These things are huge. I want more bass. And people kind of complain too. Like in my review, they're like, "I don't know what's wrong with your setup." You know, mine have bass. I'm like, they don't have that much extension, though. I mean, they just don't. Like I can look at the graph from their website, and I can see it starts. Look, people are complaining to me like, "Dude, I don't know what you did. Why are you saying it doesn't have a lot of bass?" Am I?
Because it doesn't.
Am I tripping? Because this is the website, right? They have their own graph here. Right.
What does it look like to you? It looks like a sharp roll off.
Where does it start to roll off? Am I tripping or not? Does that not start to roll off around 80 hertz? Yeah, it does have some extension down to here, right? But it does start to roll off.
That's a big drop.
And then sealed.
What is that? 90 to 8? That's a 10 dB drop until what? Is that? What's that left line, Joe?
Which one are you talking about? Red or blue?
Line?
Full open ported, maybe.
The red, but go to the left all the way. What's that number? I can't see.
Oh, this is 10, 20. Right?
That's a 20 hertz.
Yeah, so it's not like you're not going to hear it. But that is 10 dB.
Like 10 dB lower than at 100, right? Or 80.
Yeah, so it's not like you're hearing like strong bass extension, right? Especially when you're in sealed mode. In sealed mode, no way.
Let's understand that 10 dB drop is huge, and in like a perceived, sound level perception, it is a huge drop, right? 3 dB, and going up 3 dB, you got double power, so we are losing a lot. So when people say they're like, dude, there was no bass, like it was like being at an audio show and listening to a pair of $10,000 speakers, and I play that Walker and Royce Stop Time or the Doing It Right, and we're just like, okay, where's the bass? No bass. Why is there no bass? No bass. Like this is not. So this versus the 888, way more bass.
Yeah,
and it's just the way that these are designed to use a subwoofer. That's all. So then you're spending more money. right?
It's made for a home theater setup when you're going to use these with a sub, for sure. Right. So with a sub, then how about with a sub? Then what happens?
I mean, personally, I would still go for the MoFi.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the sound radiation on the.
It's because you bought them.
More narrow.
No, because Aaron bought them.
No, not yet. Hopefully,
he's trying to buy them.
I want to buy them, but I don't have the money right now.
Now, if you can't catch the show, we do have an audio version at anchor.fm/daily HiFi. So make sure to go on over there if you like to listen to the show.